Hey guys, welcome to our 1 week postpartum update. So, can you believe that he is here already? I can't even believe it. I know I didn't make a week 39 update. That week was crazy. There was so much going on with getting ready to be induced and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to actually have a labor and delivery story video put up for you guys. I don't know when I'll get to it. Hopefully I'll get to it this week, if not next week, and I'll get that up for you guys so you can hear all about our labor and delivery. I didn't have anybody tape it or anything, but I do have pictures that I'll insert through that video too, so you will get like a little glimpse of what was going on that day. But today we're talking about baby Grayson being 1 week old. He will be 1 week officially in 4 hours, and he has my heart. He has my heart. Him and Nick they're the love of my life, and it's insane. Well, and Jack's punky head, but it's crazy how much love you can have for somebody right away when you meet them. It's insane. But I wanted to go over some things for this week and how things are going. Baby Grayson, so some things about him. When he was born, he was 7 pounds, 14 ounces. He did get all the way down to 7 pounds, 4 ounces, and he had jaundice more than like the normal baby. So we had to bring him in on Saturday to get checked a third time for his jaundice, and it had gone up a little bit, and then we just had our 1 week appointment today, and he said he looks perfect. We didn't have to check his bilirubin again, which I'm glad, because that was not fun watching them prick his heel and get blood from that. So all in all, it sounds like his jaundice is going away, and I think he said that is because my milk supply is in now, so he's getting a lot more breast milk than he was getting in the hospital when it was just colostrum. So his jaundice is under control. It's pretty much gone. He still has like yellow in his eyes, but he said that is completely normal, because now that he's nursing and getting breast milk, he has breast milk jaundice, which he said is completely normal and nothing we have to worry about. So that's why he has yellow in his eyes, and that's something that can stay around for like 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm not worried about that anymore. We're going to take him off the supplement. We were supplementing him with formula a couple times a day for the jaundice to make sure he was getting enough food. But the doctor said that since my milk supply is in, that we don't have to do that anymore. So we are just going back to breast milk. And some things about Grayson. I wrote some things down that he likes that we figured out in the last week. He likes to sleep a lot. With his sleeping, he actually, the last 2 nights, he's been going in chunks of like 5 hours. What we've been doing and what we've decided that we're going to start doing is just letting him, like I'll feed him right before we go to bed, and then letting him sleep as long as he wants, and him waking us up when he's hungry instead of me or us waking him up to feed. I just found the first couple nights that I was doing that, he was so angry waking him up, and it would take us like an hour and a half to get him fed and all that kind of stuff, and it just isn't working for us. So we're just going to let him sleep and let us know when he's hungry, and we'll play that by ear and see how that goes. But so far it's been working good. He obviously eats, sleeps, and poops pretty much right now. We are doing, I'm breastfeeding, and our nighttime feeding is a bottle, but it's still breast milk. We're doing that just because it's way easier. He fights me a lot with nursing, so it's easier in the middle of the night when we're both tired to just give him a bottle of my breast milk, and then I pump, and then we put him back to sleep, and he's good to go. That might change as he gets older and he gets better at nursing. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, but right now that's what we're doing. So he's nursing, and he gets like one, maybe 2 bottles at night. He has lots of facial expressions. He's not up a lot, but when he's sleeping, he has a ton of facial expressions, from smirks to grins to just tons of funny facial expressions. It's insane how many expressions he can have just being 1 week old. He can lift his head up when we're holding him with his head on our chest, he can lift his head up, and that's been very awesome to watch him do that. We like to call it neck exercises because he's lifting his head and he's working on that neck strength. So he's been able to do that, and he does that a lot. And then he is, okay, so this is kind of funny because with like the burping and stuff, he seems to be like, whenever Nick has him, he burps like a pro. And then when I get him, he like toots like a pro. So we definitely each of us have our different like roles with him. Nick is so good with him with like calming him down and soothing him and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I do that too, obviously. But it's crazy how each parent has a different role, and we're definitely finding our place with him in our lives. So that's a little bit about him. I'm going to let you guys meet him at the end, but right now he's sleeping, so I don't want to get him out until I have to. And about me. So since we've been home, I have been feeling really good the first couple days. Felt like I got hit by a bus, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in our labor and delivery story, maybe. But I can talk a little bit about it now, too. I'm healing down there good, but it still has a lot of healing to do, I can tell. The bleeding is very minimal right now, but it's still there. I did have, I think, like barely a 1 degree tear. So I do have one stitch in there, and that's where I think the pain is really from down there. So that's healing. But the first couple days after delivery, I literally felt like I got hit by a bus. I was walking around like I got hit by a bus. I was so sore. It felt like I had run a marathon and then did like a total body weight workout for a whole day. And everything from like the top of my head to like my toes were sore. It was insane. I've never experienced that much soreness ever in my life. And you guys, I love being sore. Like, I love working out and being sore the next day. So to me, that the soreness wasn't a huge issue with this whole healing process after labor, but the healing down there, sorry if it's TMI if you're a guy and you're watching this, but you women will understand. The healing down there has been a lot more challenging because it's hard for me to stay active because it hurts, and the more active I am, the more I bleed. So it's kind of just a waiting game, which is kind of hard for me. I just weighed in because I was curious. Now, throughout my whole pregnancy, the only time I weighed in was when like I had an appointment at my doctor's office. So their scale is probably completely different than my scale is. And I never weighed in on my scale at home. It's super old. It came with the house when we bought the house, so I don't even know how accurate it is. But my last weigh-in at my appointment, I was 187, and now I'm down to 170. So I've lost 17 pounds already. And like I said, the scale is different, so it could be different. It could be higher or lower, and I'm not really worried about that. I'm not worried about the weight coming off. I feel good for only it being a week since having him, so I'm really anxious to get back into my workouts and just being able to get outside and like walk and be more active. But right now, I'm happy at where I'm at. Like I said, Nick has been a huge help. He has been, I don't know how people do it without supportive husbands or do it like single parents, because he has been a trooper. He has been amazing. I can't even complain. He like instantly he was like father figure, like he was amazing. So he's definitely been a huge help with everything there. With like at night when we do a bottle feeding, he does the bottle and I do the pumping, or he'll do the burping. He does the bath time. He's amazing. I don't know how I got so lucky with him. And then with my eating, I am still eating in moderation. I'm not going to go back to like eating super strict until I get into a more strict workout plan. But I am trying to force myself to eat every 2 to 3 hours so my milk supply stays up. And that's the same with pumping. I am pumping, so I'm trying to pump and get into the habit of pumping after I feed him. That way I get some extra milk in that way too. But I think I'm going to try and find a time in the day that I just exclusively pump for like a pumping feeding, but not really feeding him, if that makes sense. So I can build up my supply for when I need it. So that's a little bit about our week. Like I said, I probably will get the labor and delivery story, our labor and delivery story up next week, I'm assuming. But I'm not going to do like weekly updates for us. I will probably do like this 1 week and then maybe a month and then maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with it and see how much everything changes. Like if there's a lot of changes from today till next week, I'll do a 2-week update and then kind of just go from there. So if you guys want 2-week updates and like more precise stuff like what's going on, let me know, comment below. Also like the video if you want to have more videos. Let me know. I'm open for anything. And I'm sure everybody wants to meet baby Grayson. So here is he's going to be mad that I wake him up. Oh, sorry, pumpkin head. Here's our little man. Oh, his hat. It's weird holding him this way. Here he is. He's so tiny. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys too. When he was born, he was 7'14", and I was kind of talking about this. He was 7'14", and then he was 7'4" at our first pediatrician appointment. And since then, from our appointment today, he is 7'10". So he's gained 6 ounces in like 4 days. And he said, our pediatrician said, that's awesome. He's looking really good. He's putting on his weight again, getting back to his birth weight, and he just said he looked perfect. So that's all we have for you guys. Thank you so much for following our journey and being here for support and prayers and all that kind of stuff. I know I can't say it enough for how much you guys mean to us and just keeping us in your prayers. And I will see you next week in the labor and delivery video.